Uh-huh.
Hello and welcome to episode 27 of the Nintendo Review Podcast, and the very first of 2019, and that's kind of going to be the theme of today. We're going to be chatting about what we're most excited about, well, maybe not excited, but what we're looking forward to in 2019 and what we expect to see with some crazy predictions. Have you got some crazy predictions for us, Greg?
Very much not.
Have you got at least one potential whammer?
Whammer-ish.
Whammer-ish, okay, that'll do. That'll do. I've got a few whammers, I'll make up for it, don't worry about that. As always, obviously that's Greg, and Lee's with us too. Are you okay, Lee?
I don't know if I've got any whammers, but a lot of things that I would love to see, which are never going to happen. Call them whammers if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a few of them. Obviously, Lee doesn't celebrate Christmas or even New Year yet, being just off the coast of China. Is that right?
Yeah, not far off. But 100 miles off the coast of China. We got.
Oh, close then.
And I did celebrate Christmas when my parents' present came on 2 days ago.
Ah, that's nice.
It was nice. We thought it was lost in the mail.
But it did arrive.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you don't.
And do you know what they sent? 4 Galaxy bars, chocolate, and 3 Terry's chocolate orange. Nice.
What's the chocolate like in Taiwan?
We get Snickers. We get there's a very limited selection of chocolate, but we get Snickers. We get Hershey's, and I don't like the American chocolate. It's too
it's
oily.
American chocolate, basically.
So yeah, and they got Dove, which is the foreign
There's
name
a soap
for
in it.
Galaxy. yeah, I eat soap.
Okay,
but it's an oily chocolate. It's not a creamy chocolate like a Galaxy, so I miss it.
Oily chocolate? What?
It's just not milky enough, even though it's the same brand. It's amazing. It's just not the same.
Sounds gross. Greg, did you have fun?
I'm
going to take that as a no.
Nobody was well, so we were all kind of
really?
weller for a while, so I don't think any of us really had an amazing Christmas, but it's over now.
Did you have a good Christmas? It's over. It's all that matters. But are you all better now?
Almost. Still a wee
Okay.
bit funky. We'll get there.
How was your Christmas, Darren?
Me?
Yeah.
It was good. It was really good. We didn't go. We usually do travel to my parents up north and my girlfriend's parents in the Midlands. So we spend 5 days traveling, and it kind of wipes it out really. But we didn't do that this year because we've just had a new baby and moved house. We felt that we had a good excuse. And it was amazing. It made us never want to do it again. To be honest, travel around. So it was really good. A good mix of playing with kids and playing video games and still moving house. I get quite a lot of satisfaction from sorting things out. So I did a bit of sorting, a few boxes. Obviously, all my amiibo are out now. Although Hugo's playing with them all the time, and it's tragic.
They'll be getting faded in the sunlight.
I know. They're not going to stay there, but I don't know. They look good though. But anyway, we've got a lot to talk about today, and I think this 15-minute introduction is not going to do us any favours. So let's get straight into the news. So we're gonna try and plough through the news as quicker than we've ever done it before. The first bit of news, just a little bit of good news. Celeste sold over 500,000 copies, which I think is amazing, to be honest. For an indie developer to sell 500,000 copies, I think is great. It's on the top of loads of people's best of the year roundup. It is an amazing game, and big congratulations. And he's announced, although he's not broken down, which is a shame because we like a good sales breakdown. He said it sold very well on Switch. I'd be surprised if it didn't sell the best on Switch by far. But he said that he's going to, as a bit of a farewell and a thank you, he's going to release some very difficult levels to end in the next sort of few months, which should be good fun. Greg, I know you've been and ahhing. I know you're could you be tempted by this? Are you waiting for a sale? Are you waiting for the backlog to clear?
When it goes on sale, it's probably a time where I will properly consider it. At its current price, I haven't even really been thinking about getting it. But it sort of falls
How
into
much is it? Does anybody know? Is it 20 quid?
20 quid max, yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say, I do like platform games, but there's different types of platform games, and I kind of fear that Celeste might fall into the category of ones that I don't actually enjoy that much. So,
So, like,
I'm not sure.
it's
Like, I
obviously not
prefer-
like a Mario Brothers or
Yeah, I prefer like the Mario's and Donkey Kong, that sort of thing.
yeah. It is amazing, but it's weirdly it's sort of like you were like, but it's almost like it reminds me of like the old sort of pre 8-bit sort of like I imagine like Spectrum games in a weird way, like Chucky Egg and things like that. These single screens, even like if you think of Donkey Kong, it's not a platformer, but it's like one screen. And you're going to navigate that level to the end, and then you unlock the next level, which is another screen. It's like it very much feels like that, but with really incredible sort of controls. As well, but it isn't, you know, you're traversing these big levels like in the kind of the later 8-bit and 16-bit sort of platformers that we'd love.
Weirdly, the thing that probably interests me the most in it is I've heard people say that it sort of like deals in some ways with like anxiety and depression and stuff, and I can kind of relate to that in some ways, so I'd be interested to see how they handle that.
It's brilliantly. Everyone is right. It handles it with. It's not on the nose. It's just really subtle, really beautiful. It's embedded within the gameplay rather than just in between the levels, if that makes sense. Like there's levels which are about dealing with anxiety. It's really brilliantly done. It's really beautiful. It is an amazing game as well. So if it gets in a sale, definitely pick it up. Lee, or what's your Celeste?
I'm interested,
feelings?
but yeah, it's one for the backlog. It came at the wrong time, you know. I had too much going on at the time, and then there was more piling on top of it as well, and I never got around to it. But definitely interested. It's just these throwing difficult levels at it. Does it need any more difficulty?
No, I don't think it is. Although weirdly, I didn't find it as difficult as what people make out. I know I was listening to IGN and they were saying, "Oh, they didn't even finish the last few levels." I'm like, "What? It's not that hard." What I love about it, it's got like an almost Nintendo-esque. When you think of like Kirby and Yoshi, it's got so each level has got these, can't remember what they are now, cherries,
Strawberries.
Yeah, so they're optional to collect or not collect. They're very, very, very difficult. I started collecting them, and very quickly on, I was like, nah, I'll scrap that. It was so much fun to play. I didn't want it to be frustrating, if that makes sense. So and it would frustrate me. It was in a good way if you're up for that kind of thing, but I wasn't up for it. I just wanted to play the game, and but you don't have to get them. You don't really get a bonus to get them either. So it has got that kind of dual. It's easier just to play through it, but it's got that extra challenge if you want. But yeah, we'll see what these levels are like. Some more free Celeste sounds good to me. Next, just a few updates that we wanted to kind of just chat through very quickly. I mean, this is a game that Greg needs to download. Paladins. We should give it a go. Honestly, it's so good. I haven't played it since launch week.
I haven't played it for ages either, but
yeah,
it's fun when it's running.
Still absolutely zero desire.
Really? Do you like first-person shooters? Forget GoldenEye. Outside of GoldenEye, do you?
Honestly, like GoldenEye is probably the only one I've ever like really absolutely loved. So not really.
Oh, that's fair enough. That makes more sense. It's a very good first-person shooter, which we don't have much of. But anyway, they're getting an update. They're bringing cross-play with PC and Xbox. Still no PlayStation 4. What are they doing? They brought it to Fortnite. Just bring it to everything, Sony. But whatever. So I think that's really good. There's an update to Murphy's Law, which I remember that was sort of revealed such a long time ago. It looked great, and you sort of feel if it came out soon after they announced it, it probably would have done really well. But they delayed it. Same with that Pocket Rumble, and it didn't do great, and it had a few issues. But they're releasing a big update, and they're going to give some new maps for one of the modes. They're going to rework one of the modes, and they're going to bring in a new one as well, and have online missions and stuff like that, more customization and stuff like that. So it sounds like they're giving a really good update, and it's meant to be a good game actually. So I hope it works. I hope it kind of helps. It kind of gets a bit of momentum. But it's a hard sell when there's 1,500 games on the eShop.
And Splatoon, which kind of is what it's going for. That's the kind of market it's going for, is Splatoon, and Splatoon is there doing it and doing it better in my mind, even though I haven't played Murphy's Law. It is a really hard sell.
What about you, Greg? Does it have any interest to you? Or
nope, not at all.
Yeah, it is a shame, but I hope it does well. And it'd be one of those games where if there's a few of us who are up for it, I'd be well up for playing it. And I think it does look good. But
settle for Paladins. Pick one.
It's free. Exactly.
And it's free to play.
It's free. And the last game, which has got an update, which excites me a lot. And this is I cannot believe I've not bought this game. So there's a game that came out very early on in the Switch's life called Tiny Metal, and it's basically an Advance Wars ripoff. And it came out, and then it got taken off the eShop, and then got put back on the eShop. And when it got taken off the eShop, that's when I wanted to buy it. I was like, I want an Advance Wars. And then Wargroove got announced. And then Tiny Metal got put back on the eShop, and I was like, Wargroove looks better, so I'll wait. And then Wargroove, it had taken ages to come out, and I could have played, anyway. Tiny Metal, again, in a sale, I'm picking it up definitely. But it's added a great update. It's just added online competitive multiplayer, which is amazing news. And it really, really makes me want to pick it up even more. And they've added some extra story missions as well. So it's 3 really good updates on games this week of games that I'm quite interested in. But Tiny Metal, definitely. I can't remember, Greg. Do you like Advance Wars?
Not really.
Have you ever played it?
Yeah, I had Dual Strike for a wee bit on the DS, and
okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe got about 7 or 8 missions in, and it just
didn't do it for you.
Wasn't really grabbing.
Oh, in my head it was maybe it's Lee who loves it.
Yeah, I do love Advance Wars. Yeah, it's Wargroove that's got me as well. So even when this Tiny Metal came out, exactly the same time as you, Darren, it was kind of like, oh, do I, don't I? And then Wargroove got announced, like you just said, and my heart is set on that at the moment.
Yeah. But we'll see. Like I say, it's 20 quid. It's quite high for an eShop game, so half price. I'll pick it up, get it. You can never have too much Advance Wars. Just a little bit of it's quite interesting news. This came out a couple of weeks ago. We've not done a podcast for a while. Gilbert, obviously the guy who made all the classic point-and-click adventures, I guess they are. He did obviously Thimbleweed Park, and he released the sales figures for Thimbleweed Park. And what was sort of 2 things that were interesting about it. One, in general, it clearly didn't do as well as they thought it would. Nintendo accounted for 1/3 of all the sales of the game, and it came out. I mean, it's been out for a couple of years.
Yeah, much later. Yeah,
on Steam, and I think it barely sold anything on Xbox and Sony, and it sold a bit on PC and obviously some tablets as well. But it sold 1/3 on Switch, which is the best selling platform, which is mad considering it's only been out a few months. So it's another success story. I want to hear about the failures, don't you? We always hear about these success stories. I want to hear about the games that don't do well.
I was on Twitter the other day, and it was a developer, and I can't remember the games he's made, and he was saying about the Switch. I think the Switch's honeymoon period is over, and my games aren't selling as much as they were, and he was like, maybe that's true. And then a couple of days later, he went, hold on, it's been selling really well. I prematurely stated that the Switch is back on. It's like, okay. So the Switch.
So who's that? Ron Gilbert?
A game developer. No, not Ron Gilbert. It was someone from a smaller indie developer, and I just can't quite remember the name of the games. It was 2 games he had.
So basically, it's rubbish. Then he went to look at his analytics.
He goes, wait there, no, Switch is picking up again. Yeah, forget what I just said.
What tool?
Yeah, you kind of have to wonder how well they'd actually be doing if there was like a proper virtual console on the Switch, because you imagine it would take a massive hit. Because I know myself, like I've picked up 1 or 2 indie games like Golf Story and stuff. If there was like N64 games and stuff, I would probably just end up buying virtual console games and not really thought much about the indie games at all.
Yeah, there is that argument of why it's doing so well, but yeah, like if Nintendo really beasted it. Yeah, and obviously it's going to continue that. The more eShop games there are as well, it's going to dilute things further as well. But then again, if more millions and millions of people are buying it, and it's also about awareness and visibility, isn't it? Like, I don't know. We'll see how this year goes. It's going to be interesting in terms of their expanded virtual console online, which is happening this year, by the way. We'll talk about that in our predictions. But when that expands, more eShop games, more third parties. Nintendo released 3 first-party games every single month. It's all going to be a bit crowded, isn't it? But we'll see. Just a little bit of an update on Killer 7. Greg's favourite GameCube game. Obviously, they've said that he'd like to release it, and we were chatting about Marvelous and stuff. He's come out and actually said Capcom own it 100%, which is really interesting.
That is interesting. How did they manage that? You think Marvelous would have, or Grasshopper manufacturer would have had some input into it anyway?
Maybe, yeah, but maybe if Capcom paid for it and they just hired them to make the game.
And to be fair, Capcom are starting to show a wee bit more support for the Switch, and obviously they're getting reports of like Resident Evil and stuff. I think Killer 7's going to happen.
I agree.
But it's his last sentence. He said, "But I'll have to talk to Capcom again to see if it's possible to get the ball rolling on Switch." And it's like, go on, it's only it's only one.
The ball's already rolling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get onto this next actually with Tekken 7. I sort of believe anybody talking about old games and thinking about maybe it'll happen, in my mind, that's like, that is happening. They wouldn't talk about it if not, I don't think, personally. But so we'll get on to that. Tekken 7. Katsuhiro Harada has been talking about Tekken 7 and said, if there's the demand there, the classic line, if there's the demand there, then maybe they'll put it on. That says to me Tekken 7's coming, doesn't it you?
Yes.
It's like, what does he mean, demand there? How do you
demand it? Yeah, do you want us to get on Twitter and start shouting at him?
Some people just say, we've got nothing to announce, or no, it's not happening, or no. For them to say, if people are interested, we'll bring it. That says to me, they're bringing Tekken 7 to the Switch, which would be amazing.
But it's been out for quite a while now, isn't it?
Yeah. And we got Skyrim last year.
Good point.
And Diablo 3. Has Tekken ever been on a Nintendo platform?
Yeah, there was Tekken Tag
Oh,
Tournament
3DS.
2 for the Wii U.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. I own it.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
It was a good game. Yeah, it was a
good
good port.
game.
Good port.
Funnily enough, like I think it was an offer. I'm not sure how long ago. I remember seeing it on offer in the Wii U eShop for, it must have been like £5 or £6. I was really tempted to buy it, and I just never did. But there's one on the 3DS as well.
Yeah.
They had a Game Boy Advance game too, Titan Advance.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, loads, yeah. I think I own all 3 of them. Where's my collection? I think I own all of them. Oh, boy, my brain. What we're doing? What's going on? Okay, news. So a bit of an update on the Smash sales. You've put here the first week on the market. I'm pretty sure it was the first 3 days that they said 5 million.
Yeah,
sales.
because they say the first week, but the week ended like on a Sunday, and then it was released on a Friday. So yeah, it was the first 3 days. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it sold 5 million in 3 days, and we said what in the first couple of weeks or something we'd sell like between 3 and 5. Either way, we chatted about it last week. Amazing sales. It's going to do ridiculous numbers, that game. Where do you think it's going to, just out of curiosity, where do you think it's going to line up in sales and compared to things like Splatoon, Mario Kart, stuff like that? Where do you reckon it's going to be top?
Yes, I think it's going to outsell them all until the next big thing comes along. But Smash
Animal
has
Crossing.
been smashing it, no pun intended.
What about you, Greg? What do you
That was a
Animal
wee bit
Crossing,
intended there.
Maybe.
It was completely intended, wasn't it? Let's admit it. We could see him foreshadowing it about 10 minutes before we said it from here. Yeah, it's obviously brilliant. Dragon Quest XI is another game that we chat about a lot on this podcast. They showed it. They've showed it. Did you see it?
I didn't.
I've
You've
just
not
seen a couple
seen
of screenshots of it.
Yes, the screenshots and the comparisons between the PS4 versions that I saw, but I haven't seen it in motion.
It looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks fantastic. There's a slight blur on the background, but it's nothing compared it to a PS4. It's like if you looked at one or the other rather than both together, you'd be hard pressed to find a difference.
To be fair, like when they're side by side, it's easy to see the differences. But like in reality, like how much does that really matter?
It's and it's when it's in handheld and all that, and it's looking that good, it doesn't matter an iota.
Yeah, I was really impressed. It's also it's basically like an updated version of it, like an improved version of it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to have extra
with
missions and extra bits and pieces and extra voice acting. Is that right? Japanese
Actual
voice
acting,
acting.
Yeah, because it doesn't have it. I'm sure PlayStation 4 version will get an update, but it's just great news. It says in the notes there's going to be a surprise on January the 1st. That was yesterday, Lee. What was that surprise?
Good question, Darren. Nothing's
All
popped
three
up
of
on
us
the
furiously
news.
Googling.
Nothing's popped up on the news. That
I didn't find out what it was either, but like I was on, I think it must have been Reset Era yesterday, and they had like the Dragon Quest like topic, and it said whatever the topic name was, like big surprise reveal, and then at the end of the very end of the topic title it just said no surprise or something. So I don't think it was like a big deal.
So I think there's maybe something lost in translation with that. Anyway, I mean, I'm never going to play it. Still great news. Greg's going to get it though. That is one game Greg will get. He loves Dragon Quest.
It's possible.
We got to finish 8, 9 and 10 first, but you'll get there eventually. We've also got some news about Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Is this a new game, Lee?
Yes, it is. It isn't even out in Asia.
Asia?
In Asia, the whole of Asia. I don't think it's not out anywhere yet. But good news is that it will be coming to North America and Europe, but they don't know when. The date for Asia is set, and I don't know the date off the top of my head, sorry. But the Asian version is going to be far, far earlier, months earlier than the North American and European releases. And the Asian version will have English in its base pack, just like other games that have come out in Asia, Taiko Drum Master and all that in Asian English support. This will too. So if you're looking to pick it up early, you can get it via import.
I presume none of us are looking to pick this up at all. Never mind early.
No.
I don't even know what it is. Saying that, I still want Dragon Ball Fighters.
And I played that a little bit over the Christmas period as well, especially with 4 players. So we've had 2-player tag team and all that. Like Greg said, you can get some tag going. Really good fun. I've enjoyed it. Not as much as Smash, but still a good game.
Good. Just wrapping up the news, nearly there now. Our obligatory Mario Tennis update. It's a new month, so we get new characters. We get Luma, and also classic clothes for Mario and Luigi. But I've already got the classic colors for Mario, so how did I get that?
We got that for, was it the pre-download purchase or something like that? We did get it for doing something very early on in the game, yes.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, because I don't have the download version, but I have it as well.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the first tournament or something.
Yeah, first tournament, something really early in the game. But the Luigi's classic outfits is something different. And I played it earlier today, and what happens is it's got like a progress bar, which by playing and participating, if you win, you get 100 participation points. And then if you win so many points, I think the maximum I've ever had out of one win is 200 PP. You have to get 2,000 for Luigi. But if you lose, and I've taken a whooping against a Japanese player, I've ended up with like 14 participation points. So you can have a vast variety of points between 10 and up to 200. So you got to play it quite a bit over the next month. I believe it ends in the 31st of January. So we got the full month to do it. But I'm already, just a couple of games today, maybe 4 or 5, and I've got about 600 points already. So it's not too bad.
But it's a good system. It makes people play it more rather than just having one match, get the bonus, and then
it's already made me play it more. It's like I'm going to stick at it now until at least I get Luigi's, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
It's an amazing game. Greg, we need to get on doubles and we need to start destroying people online.
I know, there's just not enough hours in the day. I can't do that anymore.
I know, it's so frustrating, isn't it? It's so frustrating. I always do.
Because there's even like that Yoshi ring shot one. Like I can't even get the time to play it. Like I played it once. I don't really know what happens with those the different color Yoshis or whatever whenever the tournament thing's over. Like can you get those eventually?
Don't know. They haven't mentioned. I think it's like the old one. They haven't really given an end date to it, and it'll probably just go on for a few months, hopefully.
Do you know I found out that old one did end when it said, but it just so I went on it after one of our podcasts, and you couldn't play it, but it was just. So basically, it was abandoned for like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever. So it did end. So I need to get on that. We need to get on that. Get some online going on tennis. Anyway, 2 more bits of news. Firstly, Image Inform, an amazing publisher. SteamWorld, their games are incredible. SteamWorld Heist, I'm less keen on, but people still love them. They've said that they're going to have some news on what they're working on next sooner than we think, which is very exciting. Everybody, SteamWorld Dig 3, please. I'm sure it'll be something different. Not SteamWorld Heist 2, please.
I love SteamWorld Heist. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
It's a new 2D Metroid game.
But they did say that in the middle of last year, they put a Twitter poll out saying, what would you like, what kind of genre? We're going to try and do something different. What genre would you like us to make a game in? So hopefully it's going to be something completely different. They've done the
jet ski.
That's exactly what came to my mind as well.
We'll see. We're going to find out sooner than we think. Well, I think it's going to be tomorrow. So is it going to be sooner than that, Image Inform?
Do you reckon it's linking a Nintendo Direct? Ooh, sooner than you think. January Nintendo Direct, Image Inform.
Could be. That's a good shout, because obviously there's going to be one. So, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. 2 more bits of news. One, Amazon just released their best-selling games of 2018. Was this the American one? Amazon as a whole company, or UK, or American?
American, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, and Super Smash Bros. Was the best-selling video game on Amazon. Not bad, considering it came out a few weeks before the end of the year. And
I actually can't believe that.
It's amazing. Because it's outsold number 2, which is Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS4.
Yeah. So where have people been buying Red Dead? Because there's no way Smash has sold more than Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, as in, I think Red Dead sold about 15 million copies in the first few weeks. But that's just Amazon. But then, a lot of people buy their games from Amazon.
Yeah. And what's more shocking for me is number 3, which is outsold number 4. Number 4 is Marvel Spider-Man, and then number 3 is Super Mario Party. Another shocker.
Yeah, that is kind of mad. Yeah, obviously, Nintendo were well presented. Zelda represented. Zelda was there. And considering it came out the year before, that's not bad. Same with Mario Kart, number 5. Mario Odyssey.
3, 4, 5, 6 of the top 10 are Nintendo titles. Number 5, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 6, Super Mario Odyssey. Number 7, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I bet Eevee's like number 11 anyway. And then number 10, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's amazing.
Do you know what's interesting? I'm actually looking at the software sales for last week globally,
Yeah.
Smash Brothers isn't in the top 10. Pikachu's number 3.
Yeah.
Super Mario Party and Mario Kart and... Oh, that's Pokemon, just Pikachu. Eevee's in there as well. Smash Brothers nowhere to be seen. Red Dead number 1. That is a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and these are official Amazon figures, so...
They are, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so Nintendo did really well on Amazon. Smash Brothers beating them all. Don't know really how much that says. Like Greg says, it obviously isn't outselling Red Dead, so well done. And the last bit of news, I saved this for last because I don't know if it's fun or not, but Smash Brothers, it looks like there's going to be more DLC outside of the characters, and it's what they did for the Wii U version and 3DS version, Mii costumes, and one costume is said to be 75 cents, which is 59p for a Mii costume. Anybody else? Will you buy them? What did you feel about this, Greg? What do you think?
I actually wondering if I bought any for the Wii U version. I think I may have got there was the Virtua Fighter character. What is it, Akira or something?
Akira.
Yeah, I think I might have his costume on the Wii U version. Yeah, I suppose it depends what costumes there is, because I quite like using the Mii Fighter and the way you can customize the movesets and stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Do you know how much they were selling the costume DLC for on the Wii U as a comparison?
I thought
it was something similar. No, I think maybe it was.
Maybe it's if you bought both versions.
Maybe
because it's
I
more money
can't
if you
link
bought
to the
3DS.
3DS one. Yeah.
I'm honestly not sure. I think it was something similar.
Well, this is
I
release
think it's a
planned
decent
for
price.
2019. I still think it's a bit. I'm playing a little bit of World of Light and doing some spirit boards, and I'm unlocking Mii outfits all the time. I'm thinking, I don't need any more Mii outfits, thank you very much.
I quite like unlocking. I get quite excited when I unlock a Mii costume in Smash Brothers at the minute. I'm like, oh, another bit of costume. And Hugo loves creating characters. So, yeah, I'm all over this. Like you say, it's all about what they actually are in terms of, kind of which ones you get and stuff. But, yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. Yeah, that's it for the news. So, next, we've got a listener question. We've actually got a couple, and it kind of ties into, kind of our big topic as well. So, Timothy Biggins, he says, New Year's resolutions for 2019. Very quickly, have we got any resolutions?
I'm not the type of person to do resolutions. Play more games. Stop faffing around.
More?
Stop buying so many games that I'll never get around to finishing. And I'm gonna start this January by concentrating on my backlog, which I have started already. And I'm not gonna buy new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe in January as a principle that I don't need it. I got plenty to be getting on with.
Greg, do you have any resolutions?
That's hugely interesting because I've been considering cancelling my pre-order of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe as well, kind of on the same basis. Like, I've probably been moaning for the last few weeks, like I'm completely burnt out, and I sort of like, if it's even more possible, I think I'm going to be even more fussy this year with what games I'm going to buy, and I just feel like I need to restrict myself even more and just stop buying things just because people say they're amazing and stuff, and like just sit down and play the games that I have and try and get as much as I can out of those games rather than having to need the next big thing or whatever.
Do you think part of the burnout is when you look at the games you've got to play and there's like 30 games and it's almost that burn, just even looking at it, thinking about it is exhausting, thinking, oh my god, I've got all those, and that does that almost add to the burnout of games, do you think?
It does, and like I've mentioned this to you before, like I've got Enter the Gungeon and Hollow Knight just sitting there on my Switch, and like I can't even be bothered to open them, and like Hollow Knight's supposed to be amazing, Enter the Gungeon's supposed to be amazing.
It is.
And like I've played Enter the Gungeon for like a couple of minutes and I couldn't really get into it, and probably obviously it will take a wee bit longer to get used to controls and stuff, and maybe it would grab me eventually, but like Hollow Knight, I just honestly can't be bothered to switch it on, and it's supposed to be like 30 or 40 hours long. I don't know where I'm just going to find the desire to play it.
I agree. Although, on the flip side, I'm definitely keeping my Mario pre-order. I'm really looking forward to playing it, actually. I'm really looking forward to a good, classic, old-school Mario game.
See, like, I love Mario Bros. U Deluxe, or yeah, Mario Bros. U. Like, I think it's probably one of the best 2D Mario platformers. But then I was sort of thinking the other day there, like, if it wasn't being released on Switch again this month, like, would I be clamouring to go and play it again right now? Probably not. Probably wait for a good wee while. So I don't need to buy it right now. So why force it?
That's fair enough. I ain't got any resolutions except, just try and clear the backlog. Try not to buy so many games. I wrote down all the games I still need to finish.
How many?
And it is just on Switch. Never mind the fact that
Yeah,
I've got loads on
because
3DS and Wii U.
I actually made a list of mine as well, and I think mine is in 25.
If that's
25
tiny.
games.
Yeah, 25
That's
games.
nothing.
I need to start and finish, and one of them is Hollow
1,
Knight.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. But that doesn't include... I've got the Sega Mega Collection, which is like 30 games, and then SNK games, which is another 20. Metal Slug, a few Metal Slug. Like, I've got a separate retro section. And then I put lots of Mega Man, because I've got all 4 Mega Man collections. And then City Connection, the NES games, and the Capcom Beat 'em Up. I still haven't finished all them. So if you class them as individual games, that's probably about 100 games. But if you class them as one, as collections, I've probably got about 30. And there's some big ones in there, like Hollow Knight. This is how much of a geek I am. I've even put hours next to each one, like how long. Just so I could, like how long is this going to take me? Messenger's meant to be about 20 hours. Hollow Knight's meant to be about 20 hours. Mario U, if you want to do it all, about 20 hours. Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, 15. You know, there's a couple of hundred hours with the games there, and I'm like, and you work that out, I'm never going to finish all that. I'm not going to do it. How many hours I can play a month. Never mind wanting to play online games and new games, and it's like, that ain't happening. So why am I buying more games?
Yeah, Darren, why?
Because I love it. I'm addicted to it. I've got problems. I like looking at the icons. I don't know. It's a problem, especially with all the games that are going to be coming out in 2019, eh?
I think we've all got a problem.
Buy less games. What's annoying is the games which... It's almost like, if you don't really, really, really want to play it, don't buy it. Honestly, if you could see my Wii collection and my DS collection and stuff like that, I bought everything. I have like a couple of 100 Wii games. It's ridiculous. That's not even the digital stuff. That's literally just discs. And then I was like, I'm going to change. On the Wii U and 3D Switch, I was like, I'm going to change. I'm not going to buy everything anymore. And here I am, swimming in games. Anyway, so New Year's resolutions, all of us, buy less and play what we've got. It's not a bad rule for life in all its forms, to be honest. Less, and appreciate more. So, and Mark DeRuse on the Discord said, what's your most imaginative surprise announcement prediction from 2019? Obviously leave that, we'll save it, and we'll come back to Mark's question at the end to see which one was our most kind of crazy prediction in there. So, let's get on to the big topic of the week. So 2019 is here. Nintendo had an amazing 2017. It had an average / poor 2018, if we're going to be honest, in terms of their first party releases. 2019 is surely going to be a 2018 17 equaler or even better. We know a lot. There's lots of rumours. We've got lots of ideas. So Lee, tell us how we're going to approach this topic.
We're going to break it down by month. So we're going to go through our months and then a round robin, go in a circle. And for example, I'll say all my January predictions, and then we'll go to Greg and then Darren, and then we'll move on to February once we've exhausted each and every month through to December. And then at the end of the year, I've kind of got things that may be shown but might not come out, or other little tidbits that might interest.
Okay, that sounds good. And it's not just games, it's sort of like anything Switch related.
Yeah, but mine is very focused on games, but yes, it could be anything Switch related. It could be 3DS, anything Nintendo are up to, or third parties.
I think we should ban 3DS from this conversation.
Greg, do you have any 3DS?
So I just need to scribble out half my list here.
Right, let's get straight into it. Greg, January, what's coming? Mario, next.
We kind of know what already's coming in January. Just before start, I scribbled this down 10 minutes before we started recording here, so...
It's nice to see you take it seriously.
Right, so we know Super Mario Brothers is coming, Travis Strikes Again is coming, Tales of Vesperia is coming, Onimusha is coming. I can't imagine there's going to be that much that's going to really surprise us in January, but we're obviously going to get a direct in January, as we always do.
Yeah, normally they're big directs. Last year, if you remember, it was a mini one. It was actually called a mini... Was it mini or small? It was a mini direct, it's called, I think. So what are we going to get this year, Greg? Is it going to be a big direct or is it going to be a mini direct? And do you have any direct predictions?
I have a feeling that might be a relatively big one, but I don't have much down here that might get revealed. The only thing I have is that there's going to be a Box Boy compilation for Switch.
Nice.
And
Okay.
that's a sign of how little hype there's going to be throughout my entire list.
Greg's theme. I can see it already. Box Boy Collection. Box Boy is a great game.
Yeah, I quite like the first one. I never picked up either of the other two, and I probably wouldn't pick up.
I only got the
compilation
second.
either,
I picked up the first
It's
one.
good, but it's not exciting.
It's a good game, yeah, solid game.
Lee, do you have anything else to throw in the hat in January?
Well, January Direct, but I got the kind of things that they would show in January. I think it's going to be a big one because we know so little about what else is coming out in the previous months. Even a few games we know will be coming out in 2019. We got no dates or anything. So I think the January Direct will be big, but I'm not going to say anything because I'll reveal that as we go down through the months.
Oh, okay.
Of hey, this will come out.
Oh,
then.
okay. Well, I've got I've got a direct. I've written down what I think is going to be in it, but it is going to be stuff that they're going to announce to release later in the year.
Save it for those months.
Okay,
later
well-
then. And you can say, hey, they should show that in a January Direct. But what I think they will show is a lot more NES online games. I think they'll show us the next 3 or 4 months of games to come on the system. Another thing I think they'll say in the January Direct is the online app, and they'll bring in the Smash Brothers extra functionality, but there'll also be some sort of functionality, extra stuff across the whole board, and it won't be wonderful, but it'll be something that will go, ooh, I might actually use the app now.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, that's fine. They're going to announce a lot of stuff. It's going to be massive, but I won't tell you what they're going to announce yet. But there will be one announcement that's going to be stealth dropped that day, because there's going to be a couple of Blizzard announcements, and they're going to release Hearthstone after this presentation.
Oh, okay, that's a nice
Hearthstone
one.
is coming out in January after the Nintendo Direct, and they're going to show. Surely I can say they're going to show more Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
They're going to show a trailer for, because we know about that anyway. They're going to show a trailer for Animal Crossing, but actual gameplay, and they're going to sort of like tell us like how it actually plays and stuff.
I don't
cool.
think they will.
Okay,
I don't think
fair
Animal
enough.
Crossing will be part of that one. But anyway, they'll save that for later. An Animal Crossing Direct.
We'll see. Greg, anything in February?
3DS love. It's just going to be the Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story port. I think that'll maybe come out in February. That's all I've got down for that month.
Anything more exciting than that, Lee?
I think the Resident Evil games will come out in February, but they won't be dropped in 1 week. They'll be spread over February, like 3 weeks, one a week, or maybe it'll touch into March as well. You know, they'll do Resident Evil 4 first, then they'll do Resident Evil 1, then they'll do 0. They'll just spread it out. So those games I can see coming in February.
I'll be all over that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I also think that Super Mario Party will get some DLC dropped in February, and that will be one of the talking points in the January Direct.
Yeah, I'd be up for that as well. That'd be great.
And my last February thing is some DLC for Super Mario Odyssey as well. And I'm wishing and hoping for N64, Galaxy, Sunshine levels. And then you'll have 3 packs of DLC, N64 DLC, Galaxy DLC, Sunshine DLC, and then you can buy them in a bundle for a reduced price.
And that's coming out February.
Yeah, why not?
Bold. But I've got the very same prediction, but not February.
Okay.
That would destroy my New Year's resolution.
Would Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil Remake not?
4 will as well.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know if I will actually pick up 1 and 0.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think you've both forgot something in February.
Go on then.
Metroid Prime Trilogy.
I haven't forgot about Trilogy.
That's getting announced in the Direct, obviously, and it's coming out February. Cool. So, Greg always goes first. March. Is it better than February?
Yes, marginally. A game we already know about, Yoshi's Crafted World. I think March is going to be the date for it. That's all I've got.
I got that coming out later in the year. For my March, I'm going to keep
It's already
Darren
on the
happy
eShop.
with Bingo Battle. Pikmin 3 port is coming in March. With
Has it got
additional online multiplayer functions. All additional. Everything is ramped up. That for you, just for you multiplayer Bingo Battle players, Darren. Would you buy it though?
No. Is that the only edition you've got?
The March is only Pikmin 3, yeah.
Yeah, my list is a lot more bold than yours. So I put Yoshi in March as well. I think Yoshi's coming out in March. Persona 5 is going to get announced because there's a Persona 5. They've already said there's an announcement in March. So Persona 5 is going to get confirmed for Switch in March. Overwatch is coming in March.
Oof.
That got announced in January. Overwatch is coming. And also, something else that was in the Direct, a new operating system, actual changes. But it's getting launched in March and added on SNES Online. Gets introduced.
As early as March. Okay.
Yeah, because they've got bigger things later on in the year. So there you go.
So now there's a new operating system. Are they going to sort out the voice chat?
No. What needs sorting? It's perfect. What's going in April, Greg?
Right, if I can read through the scribbles here. I think we're going to get another Direct in April, and that one's for Animal Crossing specifically.
Okay.
I think also Fire Emblem releasing in April, Three Houses, or whatever it's called. I think the Resident Evil games will release in April, and Epic Yarn on 3DS will also release in April.
Big month, you predicting?
Yeah.
Big month. Have you got any additional thoughts, Lee?
Mine is, I'm very DLC heavy in the early part of the year, while Nintendo then build up towards the end. But my April is Mario Kart 8 DLC will start dropping.
Please.
Yeah, we'll see some extra tracks, some extra characters, some extra everything. In fact, they might bring so many characters that it could be like a Smash crossover.
I was just going to say, like a Smash Pack.
Yeah. Just bring a couple of third-party characters in as well, and dreams can come true. And then bring a lot of the old classic tracks that have been on other systems back as well, all with that HD polish.
That would be perfect.
And then Mortal Kombat's coming out. I reckon Mortal Kombat 11, that is, on end of April. It's coming out. My prediction is twofold, is that it is coming out on the Switch, of course, but it's coming out in April on all other systems, but it's going to be delayed for the Switch. It's not hitting April.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
That'd be
surprised.
annoying.
Do you think there'll be an exclusive character?
Oh, with all that blood and gore? You don't want to see Mario's head being ripped off.
Samus. Samus works.
Bayonetta.
I don't think there will be. I was just asking.
Waluigi.
Finish him off.
On a side note, how much would you cream yourself if Sakurai directed the next Mario Kart?
And they changed it to Smash Kart.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
They wouldn't change the name.
They would call it something like Mario Kart Smash or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But oh god, I'd love the love and attention that Smash has got for Mario Kart. Single player content, additional modes. Just Mario Kart is so bare bones, isn't it? But
the music, the tracks, everything like
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, anyway, my April. I'm looking at my list, and my list is a bit bonkers. I'm not going to lie, but my April has Skyward Sword released.
Yeah. Is that going to be dropped in the Direct in January? They're going to mention it then?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I have got it in there. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and Labo Variety Kit 2.
Good.
So actually, my April's pretty tame. That's all I've got for April.
I forgot about Labo. Damn. I have nothing about Labo all year, and it's gonna. They could at least fit 2 or 3 packs in throughout the year, couldn't they?
Yeah, Labo Variety Kit 2. They made it one. I don't know how well it sold. Labo Variety Kit 2. Played it again yesterday. What a game. What a game. What a thing Labo is. So, Greg, May.
I've already noticed I've made a mistake in my April one, because when I was talking about the Animal Crossing Direct, I meant Fire Emblem will be shown in the Direct as well, a wee bit more, and it's going to be released in May.
You said Fire Emblem's April.
Yeah, but it's going to be May.
Okay, fair enough.
So that was my error.
I've got it in May too.
And I think Team Sonic's coming out that month as well. And I have Skyward Sword down for May as well.
Ah, interesting.
Good. I have Travis Strikes Again. I know it's coming out in January, but it's going to bomb, okay? And it's not going to sell well. Suda 5-1 is going to, I don't know if I can bring, no More Heroes 3 is not coming, unless No More Heroes 1 and 2 HD ports sell well, and they will come. No More Heroes 1 and 2 will come in May, but they'll be low quality ports, and dependent on how well they sell, we may see No More Heroes 3 in 2020.
Fair enough. Is that the year only edition for May?
I think Yoshi's Crafted World will also get released in May, a bit later than you two boys.
Okay, fair enough. I had Fire Emblem released in May, and I've got a big third-party game, which is going to get stealth announced and dropped. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Ooh.
Coming out in May.
I think I'm getting to the point where I don't think Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to come to the Switch.
You don't reckon?
Rockstar have gone very quiet on the Switch now, haven't they?
We'll see.
Well.
It's coming in May. Get your eShop money saved. How's your June looking, Greg?
June's obviously a big one because we've got E3, and I can't decide what game Nintendo we're going to focus on at E3, because they usually have like one big game that they sort of like theme their booths and stuff around. So I can't decide whether it's going to be Metroid, or what I'm actually thinking it could be is probably Animal Crossing is going
That's
to be
what
the
I
theme.
got. Yeah, they're gonna have all the village built out there, and you can have photos taken with KK Slider and all that. Yeah, I think E3 will be Animal Crossing blowout.
Yeah, with like different wee like houses or something you go in and there's different games in them or whatever, something like that. At E3, Metroid Prime Trilogy will finally be revealed, obviously along with Metroid Prime 4, but Trilogy will be available soon after the Direct, not directly after, but like within a week or two of the E3 Direct. I also have that Mario plus Rabbids 2 will be revealed at E3, not for release this year, but probably not till 2020. Also, Crash Team Racing is supposed to be coming out in June for all consoles, but it's kind of like Lee said with what game was it? Mortal Kombat. I think there will be a delay with Crash Team Racing, but
only for the Switch. Only a Switch delay.
Yeah, only a Switch delay. But I'll leave what I'm gonna say with that game for the month I think it's gonna come out. There will also be No More Heroes HD ports revealed at E3 as well. They'll not be released that month, but they'll be shown at E3, along with Beautiful Joe. He's coming back. Beautiful Joe 3 revealed at E3 for 2020, along with ports of 1 and 2.
Oh, I'd love that. I would love Beautiful Joe is a great game. Great game. Big month. Exciting. There's some exciting stuff in there.
I've peaked.
That's it, done. Lee, he broke the rules, Lee. He said what was announced. I wasn't allowed to do that in January.
Well, I'm going to say things are unannounced, but only if they don't come out in 2019. If I think they're going to go
Greg's
further,
broken the rules now. Everything
I've
goes.
also, I really
Shocking.
have listed this badly as well, because I've noticed I've got 2 other things that I missed saying for my section as well.
Go on
I
then.
think Demon X Machina or Machina. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I think that'll be released in June.
Me too.
And we will also see Monolith Soft's new game at E3 as well.
Whoa.
Right, my June is very E3 focused, but a lot of the games obviously will come out later. But one thing I think they will not say at E3, but will say just after E3 in a subsequent Japanese-only kind of situation, even if it's just a little announcement, is that Resident Evil 2 cloud version will be coming out for the Switch, but only, just like the other, Resident Evil 7 and all those, only available in Japan.
That could easily happen in January as well, actually.
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to see something like that at some point.
So that's not part of E3, but it will be kind of the Japanese news. And then when E3 comes, Retro are finally going to show their game. And it is indeed Star Fox Grand Prix. But this is going to have Star Fox travelling into the F-Zero universe and having Star Fox cross F-Zero in a racing game. But it's not... they will show a trailer, they'll show in-game footage, but it won't... No way is it coming up in 2019. It's not playable until 2020. Then the big blowout, like Greg said, Animal Crossing. They'll show everything about Animal Crossing. We'll talk about that later. Metroid Prime 4, there will be a gameplay footage shown, but that's not coming out until 2020. Single player as extensive as ever, but it's going to be online co-op missions. They take on what they learned from their era of Metroid Prime. What was it called? Metroid Prime Federation Force. And they're going to implement some of that in there as well for multiplayer co-op missions. But to keep us happy while we're waiting until 2020, they'll have the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD available right after the Direct, or right after E3, very shortly after. I got a lot of good news, bad news. It's kind of Bayonetta 3 will be shown, once again, just like Metroid Prime 4, but that's not going to release until 2020. So Platinum Games will instead release Wonderful 101 Remaster, but with 1 to 4 player co-op for the entirety of the game. Competitive modes, more online stuff basically, and local 1 to 4 player throughout the entire campaign. Shin Megami Tensei 5 will be shown, but it's so far away from release, it's just, there's no point in even showing it. They won't even show a date. That's not going to be showing. Persona 5 will be announced, but I think that's next year, 2020. I don't think that's coming this year. And that's my E3 roundup of games that will be shown but won't release in 2019.
So, do you want me to not say games if I think things if they're going to come out this year?
It's up to you. You can mention them again then when they come out.
Yeah, I'll do it because it's E3. I'll do it like Greg did. But games-wise, Animal Crossing is getting released in June.
Oof,
it's a summer game. It's a summer game. It's coming out before the summer. And Persona 5.
Good.
They're both coming out in June. So E3 is not going to be about Animal Crossing because E3 is all going to be about Star Fox Grand Prix, which is coming out this year. And unfortunately, there's no tie into F-Zero because F-Zero is coming out in 2020. But I think they'll show Pokemon. That's getting released this year. Metroid trailer, I agree, but not this year. Mario Kart DLC and Mario DLC shown, coming out this autumn. Big excitement. Pikmin 4 announced and shown, coming out in August. And the last one, last announcement, is happening. Now that's going to be the Mario and Rabbids, where it comes out like 2 months later.
They haven't even started Pikmin 4.
It's finished. It's finished 5 years ago. And the last one, and the last reveal, the last big thing at E3, the Switch Pro coming out in September.
Oof, that is
coming out. It's coming out next year.
A name for it?
Switch Pro.
I don't think. Surely they wouldn't go with a Pro. Surely.
They're learning from Apple. Switch Pro. So it's a big E3. Big E3.
We Switch U.
Super We Switch U. Greg, what's July looking like?
July is looking like Mario Maker 2.0.
Oh, yeah, you said you had no biggies.
It will be like pretty similar to the Wii U version, but I obviously have like a few new items and themes. We'll also get Dragon Quest 11S. I think that'll come in July, and I think that's my entire month.
Yeah, my July is less, obviously. First of all, I got Doom Eternal comes out. I play it, I love it, great stuff. Looking forward to that. I think July may be a bit early, but I think, it's a gap to fill by there. Go on, you can do it, Bethesda. And then my big game, which will be revealed at E3, it's... this goes back to our first ever podcast, this does, with old Jonathan hosting. Woohoo Archipelago Adventures is coming, boys, you believe. And it's even bigger and better than I imagined. Unfortunately for you lot, there's no wave race, no 1080, they're not coming because it's all going to be in this one package where you go all over the island. And yes, Wii Sports kind of had the wave, the kind of wave race clone, which was nowhere near that kind of quality. This will build upon that and just blow it out of the water, So there'll be, you can set your races for where I want to race from here to here. Set your time of day, set the weather, and then go and race. Same with 1080, there'll be mountains you can go up on, ski lifts and all that. It's just bigger, better, sport, Wii Sports Resort kind of thing, but all online in an MMO style. Meet up with people, go and joust, go and fight, go and do boxing, go and play bowling. So you use the world as a hub to meet up with your friends and walk around and voice chat with.
You're going to make me cry, Lee, because this is the dream.
And it's coming July. Yay!
Well, you're wrong. Because as was announced in the January Direct, Wave Race is coming in July.
Okay.
It's coming. It is happening.
I will take it.
It is coming. It is not happening in the way Lee says. Unfortunately, it's just a traditional Wave Race game. I didn't realise Doom was coming out in July because I put Fallout and New Vegas ports are coming in July.
I don't think Doom has a date, so I just made that
up. Okay, then I think Fallout and New Vegas double pack is coming to the Switch. Ported over. That's it. Just Wave Race. Oh, Wave Race. How's your August, Greg? Usually a quiet month.
Well, I did say in June that Crash Team Racing would get delayed. It's going to come out in August on Switch. And from what I remember, I think there's a pretty glaring omission in the Mario Kart 8 character roster. I don't think Diddy Kong is in it. He's going to be in Crash Team Racing for the Switch as an exclusive character.
After he was abandoned for Mario Kart, he asked Crash to be in his...
Yeah.
Traitor.
I think he sort of fits in a wee bit with the sort of like jungly sort of theme, like Crash and stuff. So I've got that. Plus, we will also get ports, like HD ports of the original Devil May Cry trilogy from the PS2.
Yeah, it's a good call. Yeah,
that's
nice
it.
to have. Nice
that's
to have.
August.
My August are more E3 showings, and then they get released in August. And the first one is Super Mario Golf. That's going to be showing up. I've gone with the Super after, Mario Tennis Aces, wasn't it? It should have been Super Mario Tennis. And Mario Party has become Super Mario, so...
It's going to be like Mario Golf Birdies or something.
Eagles.
So that's coming out in August, and it's going to build upon what the 3DS version did with a lot of online stuff. And as you can imagine, DLC, tournaments, all that sort of stuff, and they'll be well up for that. Fire Emblem Three Houses will be released in August. I think it's going to be a bit later than you two. And building on what Greg said earlier, Super Mario Maker 2 is going to be released in August as well. Right at the end of August, it's going to add a ton of new content and tools, more online multiplayer stuff with a Game Boy and Game Boy Advance skins. I'd like a Game Boy skin on it, but it's also gonna release an online app for your cell phone, which will allow you to build simple levels and then implement them into the game itself.
Good luck on Nintendo being that progressive. I like your Mario Maker. You confidence from you two. I've put that as one of my 2020 predictions. I'll take that all the time. Mine is Pikmin 4 comes out obviously in August. It's the only game that comes out that month. Something else comes out that month. Taking advantage, which Pikmin 4 takes advantage of.
Labo.
Switch Pro.
And what does the Switch?
Pikmin 4
what does the Switch
stunning.
Pro? It just means you can have more Pikmin on screen at one time.
Better graphics, 4K,
stylus,
4K Pikmin levels. Yeah. Oh, Pikmin. There you go. That's it. That's it for August for me.
4K. You can see those bingo cards nice and clear.
Please. If they only released one game this year and it was Pikmin Bingo Battle Online, I'd take it. I reckon I'd be like, yeah, and fair enough, done.
You got a big enough backlog, it's not.
Exactly. I'd be more than happy for that. And mission mode, whack the two together, hundreds of hours. Anyway, September, the meaty months. Are they meaty for you, Greg?
Relatively meaty.
Ooh.
You said Animal Crossing's a summer game. I've got it down for September.
Me too.
So that plus got more HD remasters coming here. The Beautiful Joe 1 and 2 HD games will come out in September as well. And also, along with the reveal of Raiden as one of the 5 Smash DLC characters, we're getting Metal Gear Rising, a port of that for the Switch.
Interesting. Is that it?
That's it.
Good calls. My Animal Crossing, I've got a name for as well. It's
Archipelago Adventure.
You can wave race and 1080 board all the way around Animal Crossing Island. It's to play in with a free-to-start kind of game, because it's going to be a free-to-start game, this Animal Crossing. And it's called Animal Crossing Every Day. It's a massive online play, a little bit like an MMO. It's going to be free to start. You get to see other creations. You can share creations. You pay money to keep up with the Joneses. Oh, Greg's got a tartan rug. Oh my God, I got to pay 20 euros to get a tartan rug as well. All that stuff,
Greg doesn't have a tartan rug.
The collectionist's nightmare, because it's going to cost a fortune if you want to buy everything. Regardless
Nintendo
of it, it'll still be the best Animal Crossing ever. And even if you don't pay a single penny, it will be this superfluous version of Animal Crossing, catching bugs, growing trees, doing loads more fun mini games. But DLC will be a much, much bigger focus. Later then, I think that released late on the Switch because of Square Enix, Dead or Team Ninja, Dead or Alive 6 will make it over to the Switch. I think that'll make it across, especially now we've early in the year. I don't know what Scarlet Festiva Extreme 3 game is coming out with the Dead or Alive girls. So I think that will come. Dead or Alive 6, September also. Last one for September. Assassin's Creed HD compilation, bringing the first couple of games onto the Switch. And maybe to round it out, there might be a Nintendo Direct at the end of September as well. But I'll talk about that for early October.
I think the Mario Kart DLC is coming in September. I think Bayonetta 3 is getting released in September. And I think we're going to get parity Frostbite FIFA in September.
That is there was a recent rumour, which I saw on Twitter, is that the Frostbite engine is being worked on by EA for Switch as we speak.
That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah, I'm still sceptical though.
I
reckon EA are going to go big. Generally, I think they're going to be loads of stuff announced. They're going to go big in 2019.
I think FIFA 20 will be exactly the same as FIFA 19 with just kit changes and transfers. I don't think they'll upgrade anything.
And I think for the first time in a long time, I would buy it. I don't think I'd buy that.
No,
but I think we're going to get big updated FIFA.
Good for you football fans, if that's true.
Greg, what exciting things have you got for us?
October.
Yeah.
October is Luigi's Mansion 3 month, because obviously Halloween.
Yeah, I've got that too.
Yeah, me too. Surprise, surprise.
And
we're also predictable.
It's going to
Didn't
be
Luigi's Mansion 2 come out like spring?
Yeah, it was an unusual one, wasn't it? March, April, that kind of thing, yeah.
Sorry, carry on, Greg.
At the moment, not feeling that optimistic about it, because I don't think Next Level Games are the right people for Luigi's Mansion.
Well, they smashed it with Luigi's Mansion 2, so what are you worried about?
They destroyed the legacy of Luigi's Mansion 1. It was an okay game, but I didn't like it anywhere near as much as the first game, and I would so much prefer if they were working on like Mario Strikers or a new Punch-Out and somebody else was dealing with the Luigi's Mansion 3. I just think the fact that they're working on it and they've sort of like they didn't really nail it with the second one for me, plus it means they're not working on those other games as well. It's kind of frustrating for me, but what can you do? I also think October will be Sonic Adventure 3, and that's all I've got.
Yeah, there was some recent interest off the Sonic team as well about it. Sonic Adventures coming back and saying, no, the original one is one of a kind of game, and that they've had rough edges. It would be nice to revisit it. So yeah, that's a possibility. Mine, so late September, early October, there's going to be Nintendo Direct. And the only thing I'll talk about coming from that is that Intelligent Systems will showcase their new IP, and they'll show some in-game footage and all that, but it won't be released. They'll say late 2020, but it won't get released until 2021 because it's such a enormous project for them. But what we will see is more details on the Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade X ports. But those will be released early 2020.
Bold.
Next, Luigi's Mansion 3, like Greg said, online co-op heavy. Play through the entirety of the game with up to 4 players. Then they'll also mention DLC packs, additional levels, challenges. They're going deep with the DLC this year, boys. And Tekken 7 will be released in October. And my last prediction for October is Wolfenstein Youngblood will come out on all systems, including the Switch, this very same day.
Cool, good batch. I also think Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming out in October. I think the Mario Odyssey DLC is coming out in October. We're going to get Mario every single Christmas, ultimately. You guys think Mario Maker 2. I hope you're right, rather than me. But I think it's going to be Mario Odyssey DLC, but pretty extensive ones. And I think Call of Duty is coming out. I think we're going to get a Call of Duty for the first time in a long time on Nintendo, taking advantage of the Switch Pro. That's it. That's all I think is coming out.
That's a new Call of Duty, yeah?
The new one, yeah. Yeah, whatever that one is. November, Pokemon month.
It is Pokemon month. But not the new mainline Pokemon game, because it's going to be delayed to 2020. They're going to miss Christmas.
I nearly said that. Anyway,
it seems unthinkable that they would miss it. I think they will, and I think we will just get some sort of Pokemon spin-off game, something cheap and cheerful, like a Pokemon Link or something, I don't know.
Pokemon Shuffle 2.
Yeah. But November is Bayonetta 3 month. Another game I'm not actually that excited for. I suppose that'll maybe change if we see it a wee bit and they've somehow transformed all the characters from being unlikable irritations to something respectable. But yeah, Bayonetta 3.
Just ramp it up worse, Greg.
Yeah, probably. But yeah,
the Dead or Alive girls make cameo appearances.
That's my big November game. That's all I've got for November.
Your big November game is Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, disappointing. Tough times.
And Pokemon Quest 2.
Get hyped.
Lee, give me more.
The mainline Pokemon game is going to be released in November. Mm-hmm. Everyone is off as usual. Casuals don't like it. The super fans don't like it because the changes are so slight. But then the changes aren't enough. And you know what super fans are like. Too much change, they don't like it. Too little change, they don't like it. All that. So, but it seems rushed. The whole game's going to seem rushed, but it'll sell phenomenally well regardless. It's not what we want. It's not going to be one of those big 3D open spaces. It's just going to be more of the same, and it's going to disappoint me. I'm looking for something, the next evolution of Pokemon, maybe to pick it up, and this isn't going to be it. And they're going to be called Pokemon Future and Pokemon Past. There's going to be some time-related shenanigans when you link them together, and then the third pillar releasing in 2020 will be Pokemon Present.
Pokemon Past it.
The Dragon Quest XI's will release late in November. I think it's going to be put off. They're going to have problems releasing it earlier, so it's going to come out in November. And then last of all, the SNES online releases, ready for the Christmas online sales to entice us to pay for another year of online subscriptions.
Sounds good. Oh, there's something I forgot actually. In September, that's when they released a premium service, SNES, an online premium tier, which includes N64, GameCube, and all the handheld consoles. Like that
Bold.
came out in September.
Very
as well.
bold.
SNES is already out. Yeah, in November I've got Pokemon Mainline. That's as detailed as I went. I didn't go as down into it as much as you. And the other big game that month is Star Fox Grand Prix gets released. So it's like a double whammy, 2 big games in November.
Oh, I could do with that.
Yeah, that sounds good. And the final month in December, Lee, what do you reckon? What's coming out in December? The big game which will be shown in E3 but not blown out, and then in a subsequent direct, like in that late September, early October direct, the big game will release in December. It's Splatoon, what we've called Free. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Fortnite kind of modelled, that kind of season passes to get you in there and buying the extra content, so you're paying for extra clothes and cosmetics and upgrades. Not game breaking in the sense that you're paying to win, but Splatoon Free will be the big December release.
Okay.
And that's my only December.
Yeah, I mean, there's never much, is there? But do you have anything for December, Greg, or do you think it's going to be a dead month?
Well, I had to pop out there something, so I don't know what you have said for for the last few things there. For December, I have the No More Heroes 1 and 2 HD will be coming out. Persona 5 also for the Switch on December. And Mario vs. Donkey Kong, there'll be one of those for the Switch. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, Persona 5 is not a bad shout. I do think it'll probably come out sooner, but I think December is going to have a big RPG. So I kind of agree with you. I think it's a good time for RPGs. I'm actually going to say Bravely third.
Good call. Yeah, they're teasing things all the time. Yeah.
For December. So that's pretty good. I hope my list happens. And we're playing GoldenEye online
to make your list slightly on a downer. As an additional, I've got Pikmin 4. Because we're going to get a Pikmin 3 port sometime in the year. Pikmin 4 will not be released. It will not be talked about. It'll just be as if it doesn't exist.
That's because it doesn't.
Never. Has anybody got anything else that we have not mentioned yet?
My only things are like my 2019 is probably more to do with like omissions, like Metroid Prime 4. We won't get it in this year, and Star Fox GP will also be 2020.
Same here.
I think that's the only other notable things I have here.
I think we'll get a new Monster Hunter, but
I was going to put that down.
It will be released only in Japan at the end of the year, and then 2020 for the West. As there's a 6-month wait, isn't there, until they translate it over to the West. But I think it'll be a significant upgrade to get to the Switch. Not along the lines of Monster Hunter World, but getting there,
Taking advantage of the Switch Pro.
Yeah, why not?
I'm kind of wondering, like, obviously we got Odyssey and Breath of the Wild in 2017. Is there any chance we'll see a glimpse of the new Mario and Zelda games this year?
Funny you should say that. Because I didn't put a date on it, because I don't know if it will lead 3 or maybe like December Direct, for example. Like December, the Game Awards and stuff like that. So what I think will be announced and glimpsed, ready for 2020, Metro Prime 4, obviously.
Yeah.
I put Mario Maker 2 for 2020. And I also put the next big 3D Zelda is coming out in 2020, taking advantage of the Breath of the Wild engine. So I actually think we may see a glimpse of it maybe at the Game Awards.
And obviously, like you both spoke about, well, Lee certainly did, about Mario Odyssey DLC. I think any ideas they might have for a DLC, I think they might just go like the Galaxy route and give us
Yep.
Super
Could
Mario
easily
Odyssey
do that.
2.
If they release Mario Maker 2 this year, I think that'll happen. I think they're going to want to release Mario every single year. Like, something of Mario every year. So I think it's either going to be, like, extensive DLC.
I got the new Super Mario Brothers U this month.
No, I don't count. I mean, like, in Christmas, like a big Christmas. Well. Yeah. So if they release Mario Maker 2 this year, I agree, I can easily see them on Odyssey 1.5 or whatever, or Odyssey 2. And that'd be great. Either, I'll take, I mean, that'd be perfect. Mario Maker 2 this year and Odyssey 2 next year. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. I'd take that. I also think Mario Golf, I put Mario Golf, but I think it's coming out next year. And Advance Wars. Oh, this is more of a wish list, isn't it? Let's be honest. But
your love for EA, though, saying that EA are going to go, they're going to go in all deep. I've gone the opposite. I reckon they're going to annoy their backers and everybody who supports EA. They're going to annoy them all and say that FIFA 20, like Greg said, is just going to be the minimal update of rosters. They're going to cut back some bits and pieces, saying, we can't do it for Switch, and then EA are going to just ignore Nintendo completely.
I wouldn't be that bothered. The only thing I miss is wanting a Star Wars game, but actually EA are anyway.
Yeah, if they're going to give us anything at all, it'll be like Unravel or something, like the first game or a bundle of the first and second games. I don't think they'll give us anything else, really.
That game makes sense, doesn't it?
Don't know. Got a feeling they're going to go in. After the success of this year, but they're going to go all in. But we'll see. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? It'd be interesting to come back next year and see what happened.
Oh, my last one. Marvel Ultimate Alliance gets problems in production, doesn't make 2019, comes out in 2020, and it's the Switch's Devil's Third. It's going to be terrible. I hope it's not, but that was just a quick fun prediction to throw in at the end.
Fair enough. Lastly, just one final one. When's this Direct going to happen?
In January.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, next week? 2 weeks?
January 23rd.
Oh, I was going to say that week, but I'll go the week before then. Something like the 17th, which is a Thursday.
Fair enough. But soon. It's going to be a good one. Going back to the obviously some of the questions we got asked from Mark, was it? Yeah, Mark, what was the most imaginative surprise announcement prediction for 2019? Greg, what do you think your biggest surprise was? Biggest surprise announcement? Positive one.
Probably Beautiful Joe 3, I would say.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Lee, what about you? What's yours?
It's probably my never fails woohoo archipelago adventures. Come on. I know I've reusing it from last year, but it's happening.
Yeah, looking at mine, I haven't got any like wacky predictions as such, wacky games. I guess just the sheer volume of games I'm anticipating in 2019. The surprise. The triple whammy of Animal Crossing, Wave Race and Pikmin back to back is pretty good. Pretty good. But we'll see. Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? Are we done? I think we're done. That's good. That's exciting. I want this Direct now. See if Greg can stuff off his New Year's resolution instantly when he sees all these classics being released. But we will see. But that was fun as always and good to be back on it. And we'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Nintendo Review Podcast. If you like our content, please don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and ask us a question. You can find this very podcast on all good podcast providers such as iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. Just search for the Nintendo Review Podcast. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, YouTube, and our very own website, nintendoreview.co.uk, where you'll find great content such as news, reviews, and impressions. Drop by and say hello. Podcast extras! Podcast extras!
Timothy Biggins, Darren's new improved for 2019 clap.
Something to beat Greg's clap.
Rambly. Sorry, the door's just gone. Going to have a little bit of a pause there, sorry. I think it's a Hoover.
It's getting more amiibo delivered, eh?
Many packets of stickers. Timothy Biggins, half an hour gone, and we haven't even gotten to the main topic, which is going to be about 3 hours. I've got a kitchen cabinet to build. Timothy Biggins, you two ramble on big time, don't you, when you talk about your games?
Mine definitely won't be a ramble because there isn't that much to say about it.
Timothy Biggins, that's not a real person, surely.